The Wedding Crashers are reuniting this summer for another comedic adventure. Hello there to everyone, and welcome back once again to RealScreenReviews.com and to WeLiveFilm.com. I am movie critic Nick Yacobucci, and our next trailer review is for the upcoming The Internship. This comedy is slated to open on June 7, 2013, and it stars Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson, Rose Byrne, and John Goodman. The Internship comes to us from director Sean Levy, and he is the previous director of family movies such as The Night at the Museum, The Pink Panther, and Real Steel. This film tells of two 40-year-old guys that find themselves recently laid off and are now desperately looking for work. These salesmen soon find their way into a very valuable internship for Google, and to these two guys it really is truly a blessing. That is until they find out that they must rival a group of computer geniuses that seem about half their age. Well, people, I must admire that Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson are playing to their age, and I love the fact that they don't hide that they are twice as old as the rest of the applicants. There are jokes about the X-Men that they don't get. They show their ignorance with technology and webcams, and they even offer to get beers and get high with the boss of the company. Then you get to see Vince Vaughn display his usual tirade, and not only was his flash dance monologue welcomed, I'm actually looking forward to seeing more of his spew. Now, Owen Wilson also looks to be on familiar ground with his goofy humor and likable charm. These guys just work pretty well together, and by the looks of this debut trailer, I would say that they appear to have another solid comedy coming up. These two guys always seem to be having a whole lot of fun making these movies, and maybe that's why their movies are so fun to watch. Then this trailer for The Internship also throws at you aspects of being nerdy, awkwardness, and the desire to fit in. Now, to me, the trailer loses a little bit at the end when Owen Wilson tries to be emotional, telling the kids to stand up for themselves. I truly hope that the finished product doesn't suffer from this same thing. Then when watching the trailer, the obvious edits that cut out specific dialogue make me think that there's a red band trailer coming and that this will most likely be rated R. I actually very much hope that this is going to be rated R, by the way. Now, I did laugh and chuckle through the trailer, but The Internship really seems to be going into waters that we have already traveled before. I wish that these guys could challenge themselves a little bit more instead of turning out rehashed versions of their own previous successful comedies. Wedding Crashers worked because it was pretty original in its premise and straightforward delivery, but you need to keep that freshness and originality as well as the on-screen talent. I just hope that it doesn't follow in the path of films the likes of Out to Sea or the Police Academy series, and that's where you're just doing the same thing just over and over again. In the end, The Internship should perform pretty well based on the sheer star power of comedic gems Vaughn and Wilson, and if the film is anywhere near as good as Wedding Crashers, they should have another solid hit on their hands. However, nothing is a lock, and if the film ends up being piss poor, it could die out from the starting gate just like Vaughn's The Watch from just last summer. My gut, however, is saying that The Internship should be at least worth seeing, but it could be much better than average if they go for the hardcore R rating. Will Ferrell is also listed in the credits, and let's face it, with his name there, this should be great. I guess we'll find out in June, and that's really not that far off. I'm looking forward to seeing it, but I'm not counting down the days until it arrives. Well, I'm afraid that's all the time that I have today, and thank you so much for stopping by. If you have enjoyed this review, please click like below and give me a thumbs up, or subscribe to either or both Real Screen Reviews or We Live Film if you haven't yet already. I'm sure that I'll be returning soon enough with more movie and trailer reviews, and until next time, people, this is Nick Yacobucci saying I'm not always right, but only when it comes to the movies, and thank you very much for your attention.